The case of Elisa Lam is so unusual that people around the world is baffled in her death. Everyone in the internet have their own opinions on how she died. Even though her death is ruled as an accident, most people is not convinced. Some believe that she's a victim of a foul play. Although Elisa had been diagnosed with bipolar disorder and depression, she always been so positive through her life. In this episode we will uncover the story and the tragic death of Elisa Lam. In 2013, a video gone viral in the internet, where a woman in the elevator acting very unusual, even though she's alone, it looks like there's someone with her. At some point, she acts like she's talking with an unseen person outside the elevator. The video is actually creepy and unsettling to watch, as you can tell in her actions, she is acting like she's playing with somebody. In January 26, 2013, Elisa Lam arrived in California by intercity buses, and after 2 days, she checked in at the Cecil Hotel, a well-known hotel located in 640 South Main Street, Los Angeles. The hotel was built in 1920s, and was famous back then. After the Great Depression, it became a budget hotel for tourists and travelers around the world. It attracts people mostly homeless, some stayed there for over 30 years. The hotel is known for its cheap prices. Divided into 3 parts, the first 2 floors are for the old residents who lives there for a long time, the middle part called the main, which travelers usually stays, and the rest of the floors is where Cecil Hotel guests are staying. Even though these types of guests were separated, they shared common elevators. Lam stayed in the main, where she shared bunk beds with other travelers. She was later transferred to a single bedroom, as she later showed odd behavior according to her roommates. Lam sometimes changes the lock keys to the room, and when her roommates arrived, they found a note outside the door that says, "Go home, and go away." Elisa Lam is an active blogger. She's known to be Ether Fields in one of her blogs in Blogspot. She posted a lot regarding her struggles in life. She suffered with a mental illness, a depression. She has been taking different kinds of medications according to one of her posts. Even though she's diagnosed with these illnesses, her family kept it as a secret. She later then abandoned her account in Blogspot, and found Tumblr, where she continued her life as a blogger. She found relief in publishing contents that were usually associated with fashions, and some of her own quotes. Elisa Lam disappeared just before the day she was about to check out. The last time she had seen is in the hotel buying some things for her family. Hotel staff recalled Elisa was so outgoing and lively that day. When Lam is unable to check out, the staff knocked her door, but with no answer. When they enter the room, her personal belongings is still intact, but she's nowhere to be found. She's later announced missing. The LAPD launch an investigation. This is where they found Elisa Lam's CCTV footage in the elevator. By reviewing the video, they found that there's no recording of Lam leaving the hotel. They organized a search of the whole Cecil Hotel, but Elisa seems nowhere to be found, and just disappeared out of nowhere. During the search, some of the hotel guests noticed that the water pressure is very weak, and there's an odd taste of the water in the faucet. They then complained it to the management. The maintenance worker later checked the tanks in the morning of February 19th, and was shocked. When he opens the hatch in one of the tanks, he saw Elisa Lam's dead body floating in the water faced up. The dead body of Elisa Lam is in the tank the whole time, and the water is used directly by the guest, and straight into coffee shops in the hotel. The LAPD later finds that Elisa Lam died in accidental drowning, because of her bipolar disorder, and mental issues. Lam is found naked in the tank with her red dress similar in the video, floating along with her. The people have their own opinion on what really happens to Elisa Lam. Some notice that the video had some lapses in time, and is slowed and altered before presenting it to the investigators. Many people suspect a foul play in the incident, as they noticed a jump in the video. The autopsy report did not found any evidence of physical trauma or sexual assault. There's no drugs as well in her system. Although the police investigators can't explain how she got there at the first place, as there's a passcode in the doors leading to the rooftop, the tank also needs a ladder, as she couldn't have climbed there on her own. There's a lot of speculations on what really happens to her. Some say that someone in the hotel might took advantage of her mental illness, and ended up killing her. The maintenance said the tank is always open and might be open at the time of the incident, and would be very difficult to close it in the inside. The hotel is also located in a place called Skid Row. It is a dumping ground for homeless people, mostly from prison, some are from mental confinement. You can actually buy drugs easily in this place, and eventually get in trouble anytime or get killed in the streets. What really happens to Elisa Lam? Did she drown herself? Or a victim of something heinous?